You can do the intro.
Oof. Okay, get all my thoughts. Okay. Hey everyone, it is Fynn here. I hope you're all doing super well. And once again, we have a special guest, Doug. How are you doing, Doug?
I'm doing very well, Fynn. How are you?
You know what? I am doing quite well. And obviously, the big news around the world is obviously a little bit of trouble in paradise for Barcelona.
Yes, you could say that they are up shit creek. I think it has to be said. Barcelona are in a complete and utter mess, and I've been looking forward to this video all day, to be honest with you, because when you asked me to do a video on Barcelona, I was really excited. So really looking forward to this, and it should be a very good one.
I know. I mean, look, the possibilities are endless. And obviously, if you guys are watching this on my channel, please go check out Doug. He does Liverpool content and Premier League content. So please do make sure to check that out. But you know what? We thought, one of the best Spanish teams of all time. They are seriously struggling. So who better to talk about it than a guy from South Africa and from Scotland?
Let's put it this way. That squad needs a big overhaul.
Big time. And what do you think about, because obviously Ronald Koeman's now been appointed the manager. Do you think that's a good managerial appointment?
I think it's probably a way to sort of steady the ship. I'm not sure he's going to be there long term. I think it's just to sort of get his players in, get his ideas across. I think it's also going to be really interesting to see what will actually happen with who he brings in. I think, because I think looking at it, he's looking at like Dutch players to bring in and like players he had at other clubs as well. So I think it's a good appointment, but I don't think it's one that's going to be in the long term for me. What do you think about Koeman?
I think he has lots of potential. So what you're basically saying is you think he'll be what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer initially was for United?
I reckon he'll be there 2 years and then he'll be away.
Okay, well, I think Ronald Koeman could potentially. I think over the last, let's say, 4 or 5 Barcelona managers, they've all just been, I don't know, a bit weird. They've never been like the world-class managers. You never looked at the most recent Barcelona managers and said, you know what, this is the manager to take them to success. Whether Koeman will or not, it's obviously early to tell. And obviously the big thing is the Dutch link. And I think a huge thing about Koeman is the fact that he actually does know the club. Obviously, the 200 experiences for them. He knows the club inside and out. So I think hopefully that has a good factor on this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He's obviously a club legend. Obviously well remembered with that left foot of his. So, but no, I think looking at it, like Barcelona were completely destroyed against Bayern Munich. It has to be said, and I think also looking at their squad. I think they're getting rid of a lot of players. I think obviously Suarez is going to go. I think Vidal may be going to Inter Milan as well. So obviously Conte wants Vidal back. And obviously the big one is Lionel Messi.
Yeah, which I have to say, to some extent, I really do appreciate, and I have a lot of respect for Koeman for standing out and saying, you know what, no one's untouchable, not even Messi. And I think it's important to state that a player is never bigger than the club. I think as soon as you rely on one player so much, I think that's where you do struggle. I think we've seen that in the past with, well, currently like Arsenal have Aubameyang, but without Aubameyang, what do they have? Before that, they had like Özil and Sanchez, and we knew they would be in trouble without that. And I'm sure as a Liverpool fan, you saw about 5 years ago, you were a bit worried when it came to only having Coutinho, really.
Yeah, absolutely, and like we've obviously seen now that like their squad is an aging squad. I think you saw it against Bayern Munich that Piqué, as much as a good defender he has been, he could have to step aside as well. The thing is with Barcelona, they've been buying players who don't really suit their system. I mean, Griezmann is a prime example. I mean, they they waited about 2 or 3 years to get him, and obviously, there was a lot of problems with Atletico Madrid over the price tag of Griezmann. So that's been a waste of a signing. I think they've bought Ousmane Dembele for 140. I think it's 142 million from Dortmund, which is incredible, really. So looking at, I think they're overspending in the transfer market, and I mean, some of the players that they've been linked with, I don't even think they've got money to spend. So I think they're going to have to sell to buy to get better. And actually, funnily enough, I was thinking this the other day. I actually think Barcelona need a season in transition.
Yeah, possibly. Almost like, as I said, a comparison to what United are doing, where it's like, okay, ship out the old players, ship out the unwanted players, listen to the fans, let's get in new players. But as you said, with signings and spending, they've spent in the wrong place. Because if you look at it, I mean, they've been linked to players like De Ligt, they've been linked to players like Mbappe, to Pogba, but yet they'll go ahead and they'll sign Kevin Prince Boateng and Malcolm, and I don't know. It's like really odd ones. And then, as you said, like Griezmann, but they also haven't played Griezmann in the right position. They've played him as a left wing.
Yeah, he's not a left winger. He's quite clearly not a left winger. He's definitely a forward. But then I suppose you've obviously got Luis Suarez there, and obviously Messi on the right. But yeah, playing Griezmann as a left winger, it's kind of a waste of a buy. Because Griezmann was fantastic for Atletico Madrid down the forward line. I mean, they've been signing players like Martin Braithwaite. Now, I remember Martin Braithwaite at Middlesbrough, and he wasn't very, very good. So, how they managed to get him from Leganes when they did, because that move kind of all but relegated Leganes because they had no strikers to feed off after that. But yeah, it was a very, very weird signing to bring a player who played for Middlesbrough to Barcelona.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I think you could kind of make an argument for it. It feels like 22 or 23, but Braithwaite is like 29 years old. He's got no more room to grow, and I don't know. It's very, very odd, and especially like as we keep obviously bringing up the name Luis Suarez, I think he wasn't their main problem this season, and I find it very almost disrespectful because obviously apparently the call wasn't even like a minute long for Koeman to tell Suarez that he's out. For me, if a player plays like almost 200 games for you and spends 6 years at your club, the least deserve down a talk or at least a testimonial.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I think we're going to see now this summer now. Well, it's obviously it's nearly autumn, but I think the transfer window now is going to be the most important for Barcelona. And even we say it now, Messi, he's been linked to Man City, he's been linked with PSG as well. I think they're the only two teams that could afford them, because obviously there's no financial fair play now for this season, due to obvious reasons. So I think either Barcelona are going to have to say to Messi that you're not going to be going because someone's going to have to pay the, what was it, £622 million release clause in his contract.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly think that it's got this serious now that I think Messi just might have to stick around a little bit longer at Barcelona because I can't see anyone paying that 622 million release clause.
No, and I think due to that, obviously, what his say in the contract was, I think he's almost screwed himself with that because, I mean, it is such a pity because I would have loved to see him go to a team like Inter Milan, for example. I think that would have been so awesome in the Serie A against Ronaldo once again, and Inter Milan looking like a team that could compete. But especially, I don't know if I like the move to Manchester City for Messi. Obviously, he's at the top there with Ronaldo, blah, blah, blah. But as I think it was Rooney came out and said Thiago to Liverpool would be a better signing than Messi to Man City. I think Man City has got the wingers. They don't really need Messi, and Messi will only be good for probably another 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I was speaking to someone about this the other day, and I think looking at it, if Messi had moved to the Premier League when he was 25, then I think he'd be very, very quick. But at 33, as you say, he's only got a few years left. I think I I don't think he will do well in the Premier League, and that I do think he'll score goals. Don't get me wrong, but I think with how tough the league is and how tough it is to win it, I think he could struggle over here.
Yeah, to be fair, and it's very physical, very fast league. Which I mean, yes, Messi is obviously very talented, skillful, fast, but he would probably suit an attacking midfield position better than he would an attacker. But at the end of the day, looking back at Barcelona in terms of how to fix them, apparently they are looking to get Sadio Mane in for like 120 million, which I think that would be huge. And obviously, as a Liverpool fan, you watch him week in, week out. Obviously, I watch him almost every week. What do you make of that signing if that happens?
I think it's more paper talk, to be honest with you. Honestly, I think I don't think Barcelona will be able to afford Mane. In all honesty, and I think Mane will be at Liverpool for one more year. I don't see him moving this summer.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, especially at this stage, a player like there's not been enough rumors. I mean, he's 28 years old, so I mean, it's not old. But he is in the prime of his career. He's going to be unstoppable. As they said, 120 million. But in all fairness, I've said this quite a few times. But in my opinion, bar Messi and Ronaldo, on his day, Mane is probably one of the best in the world. I mean, looking at him this season, I mean, 18 goals last season. He got 22 goals in the Prem. I think he's a really good player, but I think in terms of big players wanting to move to Barcelona, I think it's almost a bit too late for them.
I think so. Yeah. Looking at the names that they've been linked with, like you say, De Ligt. I mean, De Ligt was like a target for like Man United, Liverpool. And to be honest, he has struggled in Italy, but he has got better throughout the season. So, but I think they just need to get a lot of. I think there's a lot of deadwood in the Barcelona team. I think they need to get rid of that. But the question is, are they going to be able to, get rid of these players that are not wanted by the new manager? But obviously, Suarez will be on his way out. But it's going to be an interesting season for Barcelona, I think, and I think we have now seen that obviously the Champions League, there was obviously Spanish dominance for many years. I think there's a bit of a change in the guard now. I don't think the Spanish are going to dominate the Champions League anymore.
No, I think Sam. I mean, look, Real Madrid didn't look that good, but on the other hand, at least they've got young players that are still playing through the system. And looking at Barcelona, like majority of that squad is like in their early 30s to mid 30s. It's not looking good. To be honest, I don't see Barcelona really even winning next season. But let's say that they do manage to sell some of their players. I mean, they could really get lots of money. But also a player who is still at the club technically, do you think this is time for Coutinho to shine?
I mean, he could, but I have a feeling he will probably be on the way out. There's been a lot of rumours, obviously, with Arsenal about probably getting him on loan. Obviously, we all know about Chelsea's, buying this season as well. To be honest with you, I could actually see him going back to Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich, for me, would be the only place, or Liverpool for that matter. I think Bayern Munich or Liverpool would be the only place for Coutinho to go back to. But I do think he will go back to Bayern Munich, because I think looking at their squad, squad depth is going to be key, I think. And looking at it, I just don't think Coutinho is fancied at Barcelona. I don't think the fans have really taken to him as well. So I think he will be back. He will go back to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think because also Bayern Munich will want him. They know how good he is. And I think Coutinho now has in his head, well, I'm in a team with a lot of depth that's just won the Champions League. Now, would I want to go back to a team that is struggling, that I didn't have a good time? And obviously, 8 goals and 4 assists, or no, not 8 goals, 4 assists. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Yeah, 8 goals, 6 assists. That's not too bad, though. I think that he could, unfortunately, as I said, I think Barcelona, it's almost at that stage where they keep, like, it's all bark, no bite. They keep saying, yes, we're going to buy this player, then they don't. But it's almost the same situation of when Man United started to decrease. It's like, well, no one actually really wants to go there anymore. The only reason they would is because it is such a big club. But as you pointed out, if Coutinho, let's say, did go back to Liverpool, do you see a Coutinho-Wijnaldum swap?
Possibly, because obviously, Koeman's wanting Wijnaldum. I think there's no secret in that. Yeah, I think looking at it, I think if Coutinho does come back to Liverpool, then it could potentially be for a swap deal. But I just have a feeling that he'll want to go back to Munich because of, I think, to be honest, I think he had a bit of a successful time at Munich. I know he didn't play much, but when he did play, he looks like he could get back to his very, very best. But no, I think it's a good idea. If Wijnaldum does want to, leave, I mean, obviously being a Liverpool fan, etc. It is quite. It's not great seeing that the contract is being sort of dragged out this long. But I think that Koeman may get his man. Maybe not this summer. Maybe January. Because then obviously Wijnaldum will be free to talk to clubs after that. So I still think that Coutinho is definitely Bayern Munich bound, but it's a decent idea of a swap deal. I would definitely take a swap deal because you don't want an unhappy player at your club. So, but yeah, I think Wijnaldum will probably stay at Liverpool, and I think Coutinho will go back to Munich.
Yeah, I think Coutinho, it's a bit like that James Rodriguez too, when he went to Bayern Munich. Didn't do well in La Liga, but really did shine there. But yeah, I think Wijnaldum probably will end up staying. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure he would be the right man for Barcelona, to be honest, because I think what Barcelona really need now are other players who can score and can contribute a lot towards goals that aren't just Messi and Suarez possibly. And although is very good. He's a bit too much like Thiago in the fact that he's a good glue player. He can really stick chances together and stick plays together and really good at that. But in terms of direct contributions to goals, I think Barcelona needs someone a bit more direct than him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they've got Pjanic now as well, which, yeah, I mean, he's not he's not got much longer left, I don't think either. So they need to stop buying players who are coming to the end of their careers. Okay, Griezmann aside. I mean, Griezmann, was he 27 or something like that? Griezmann aside, I do think they do need to stop buying players that are coming to the end of their career. I mean, obviously they've got Frenkie de Jong. I think he'll still be at Barcelona, but I mean, Messi's 33 now. I mean, Suarez, I think he must be in his 30s as well. So, obviously with Arthur going to Juventus and obviously, Pjanic the other way. Is Pjanic going to be that sort of, playmaker that Barcelona need? I'm not too sure. So, but I think what's going to have to happen is if Messi, Suarez do go, I mean, even this hasn't been contemplated yet, but PSG wanted Messi, then why not do a wee swap deal? Messi to PSG, Neymar back to Barcelona.
I think that could work well. As you said about Pjanic, I mean, look, he could be good for maybe a season, but I think he's like 31. Whether I think Barcelona should take Neymar, look, I think they could get a good 3-4 years out of Neymar. I think that could be an excellent signing. And I would actually almost even say it would still be a good deal if they could swap him for Icardi, because Icardi he hasn't done too bad, but what I personally think Barcelona should do is the same as what PSG, Juventus, and Bayern Munich is doing, and that is by buying players from the same league. Because if Barcelona get players from La Liga specifically, these players will already know what it's like to play in La Liga. They'll already know how Barcelona plays. Plus, they're then weakening their opposition, because obviously we've seen PSG buy players from Monaco, Bayern Munich from Dortmund, so on and so forth. And I think a good signing could potentially be Fekir from Real Betis for Barcelona, because one thing Barcelona don't really have is, as you mentioned, they've got Arthur and they've got Vidal, they've got De Jong, but they don't really have any attacking midfielders.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think obviously Nabil Fekir, another one that nearly went to Liverpool, and then obviously because of his bad knee, stuck around and then went to Real Betis. And to be fair, he has kind of letting up at Real Betis. So I think Fekir would be a fantastic signing for Barcelona. Still young as well, so. I think I do agree with you. I think they do need an attacking midfielder to definitely, get more goals. I think the thing is, I think they're far too reliant on their forwards, Barcelona, and we didn't really see much goals from defence last season either. Midfield, I mean, obviously, you got the odd goals now and then, but it was mainly sort of focused on like Suarez, Messi, getting the goals there. So, but yeah, an attacking midfielder I think would be very, very good for Barcelona, and I think Fekir would definitely be that man.
Yeah, because I mean, Fekir I think is 27 years old, and he's proved in, season out, that he can do it. And I mean, Real Betis ended 15th in La Liga this season. They're not even mid-table. And obviously Fekir, 7 goals, 4 assists. I mean, he's proven that he is better than Real Betis, and I think he would want to make the move. I think Barcelona would like to get a player like him. And going back to just thinking about, obviously, Lyon, where obviously Fekir was signed from, looking at the likes of Memphis Depay, I think that could be a really good signing. Don't forget that Dutch link.
Yeah, definitely. Koeman, as I said, he does love the he does love the Dutch players. But yeah, Memphis Depay played very, very well under him at the Holland national team. So yeah, I think Depay's been very, very good at Lyon, and obviously I've spoken to like a few Man United fans who were saying that I think they would love to have Depay back. They've obviously got a buyback clause, so that I think obviously with that in mind, then Man United could easily take that option again. But yeah, I think the Dutch link for sure. I think Depay would be a very, very good sign, and then you've got the maybe like Quincy Promes as well. That might be an interesting one for sure. But yeah, Depay, Promes. I can't think of any. Well, I mean, the only striker I really think of maybe is De Jong at Sevilla, possibly. So, but I think they're looking at probably Dutch players in La Liga to buy for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think, look, De Jong had a great season for Sevilla this season. He is reaching his late 20s, so I mean, that could be the same problem. But unlike Braithwaite, he's actually proven himself a really good striker. Promise, obviously, I think he had a pretty good season at Ajax. And at the end of the day, Ajax, I mean, no matter how they're good players is, they've also proven that they don't mind selling their players. But I think as we both come to the conclusion, I think probably between Promes, De Jong, and Depay, the best Dutch player for them, for Barcelona, would probably be Depay. I mean, 9 goals in 13 League One games this season. That's only because he did struggle with injury. 10 goals, 10 assists last season, 19 goals, 13 assists the season before that. And I mean, can we just not forget the fact that, I mean, I was shocked to see Depay is only 26 years old. He's younger than Lingard.
Yeah, that is quite weird. That is quite weird. That
I don't believe it.
But obviously, looking at obviously other players that they could get, I don't think Cillessen will go back to Barcelona. I can safely say that. I think Ter Stegen is at an age now where I think he will probably stick around at Barcelona.
Yeah, I think Ter Stegen's probably, I would say he's at his prime. I think that display versus Bayern Munich, it wasn't a good display of him. Obviously, that was the clash between the German goalkeepers, Neuer, Ter Stegen. But at the end of the day, it was shocking play from Barcelona, it was shocking play from the defense. But there's probably only a handful of players that Barcelona will keep. But I definitely think Ter Stegen's probably going to be one of those players to keep, because we keep now talking about the attack, because although their defense is probably one of their biggest problems now, I mean, I think the biggest talk is going to be how they replace Messi. And there's so many different options. Obviously, we've mentioned Depay, we've mentioned Mane. I mean, possibly maybe someone like Richarlison, who's gotten 13 goals this season, Prem 13 last season, him potentially. But when it comes to defense, what are you thinking in terms of the defense?
Well, obviously there'll be a certain VVD coming to mind, but he's not going to leave. He's not going to leave Liverpool, so definitely not. It's really difficult, but I'm thinking along the lines of sort of Dumfries, the Holland right back. I think Semedo has been a good signing for Barcelona, but he was torn to shreds by Alphonso Davies in that Champions League semi-final. So it's really, really difficult. But I think obviously looking at their squad at the moment, obviously they've got Frenkie de Jong. Defense, you could obviously Longley is there at the moment as well. But you don't want to buy too many players. I think that's the thing you have to say for Barcelona. Because obviously Chelsea are signing a few players this summer as well. I think if you buy too many, then you need the squad to gel. So I do think Longley will probably need a centre back partner, but at the moment in time, I can't really think of anyone who could probably improve that defence.
Yeah, I think it's a major problem. As you said, we need a squad to gel together, because we've seen on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to being promoted in the Premier League, like a team like Fulham, who spent like over £100 million on signings throughout the whole pitch, but they didn't gel together. That's why it didn't work. That's so obviously you do need players, and I think obviously PK, I think he's even stepped down. He said, you know what, if they need to bring in players, I'll go. Samuel Umtiti, also tiny bit too injury prone, although when he does play, he can be good. I think he could fit, but you do need another French centre back with him, just for sake of communication, so they're comfortable around each other. Whether that's, I think Laporte would be great from Man City, but I don't see City selling a big centre back at the moment. Maybe they could go for someone like a Upamecano, who's only 21 years old, from RB Leipzig.
That would be good, yeah. Obviously, signed a new contract, so again, you're looking at sort of 60, 70 million for a centre back as well. So, but yeah, I totally agree. I think Upamecano would be very, very good. I mean, they could potentially look at the Bundesliga as well. For I think maybe a good one would be. I don't think he's that old. Jonathan Tah at Bayer Leverkusen. Big centre back.
No. Tah's early 20s, yeah.
Early 20s, yeah. So I think looking at that, he's very, very quick. He's very, very fast. That would be a potential one for Barcelona to look at.
No, I 100% agree, especially because Leverkusen themselves, they're not going to win the Bundesliga, where if you look at Barcelona, they still have a shot at La Liga. And specifically, personally for me, I thought that Tah would be a great signing for Chelsea. But now apparently Chelsea have gotten Silva already, and they're obviously heavily linked to him. I don't see Tah happening then. And I think Tah, obviously he spent his whole career up to this point at Leverkusen. I think he could be a great signing for a team like Barcelona. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Tah would be a fantastic signing for Barcelona, and he would definitely improve that defense and be, Clement Longley's, defense partner for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. And in terms of a left back, Jordi Alba, he's also a really tricky one to discuss, because He can obviously be extremely, extremely good on his day, one of the best in the world, but he's also getting a bit old, 30s. He's starting to decline. Unfortunately, I don't see him, Barcelona, getting any English or Scottish players, but obviously those are probably the best left backs in the world at the moment. I would say the best signing that would fit Barcelona is Alphonso Davies, but I don't see I don't see Barcelona getting him from Bayern Munich for cheap at all.
No, definitely not. I think Alphonso Davies will definitely stay at Bayern Munich. I think Barcelona are going to get him. I can't really think of many, left backs that are, very, very good at the moment. As you say, Andy Robertson and Kieran Tierney, that they're probably the best two, left backs from Scotland as well. And obviously we've seen that Ben Chilwell's gone to, Chelsea. As well, I think left back could be a bit of a problem position for Barcelona. So, but yeah, Jordi Alba is getting on. He's getting on now. So I think he's only got a couple of years left as well. So yeah, I think some of the positions in that Barcelona team are going to be very, very tricky to fill. Left back being one of them.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the only options really I see for left back, as I said, I don't see anyone from the UK moving to Barcelona just because that's not what Barcelona do. But I would almost potentially say if they could somehow get Digne back from Everton, maybe Grimaldo, an ex-Barcelona left back. Obviously, he's at Benfica. He's done relatively well. Maybe someone like Alex Telles, also from Porto. I don't know. It's a really tricky, but as we've said repeatedly, it's almost like they've left it too late for players because all the big name players they were linked to are now actually also moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only one I can really think of right now is Alex Telles at FC Porto. I think he'd be a good signing for left back for sure.
He might be, or even like if they go to Arsenal and they get like Bellerin, obviously not the world's best right back, but has potential. Obviously, he's Spanish. But I would probably maybe prefer Semedo though over him. But I don't know. In terms of, I think their attack's probably going to be their biggest problem because when you look at their attack, you have to find players that suit Barcelona's style of play because I don't think that's their problem. I don't think their whole tiki-taka Barcelona style of play is the problem. It's just a matter of getting players that fit the system. But unfortunately, the two best attackers, I'd say, for the system are probably Mbappe or Haaland. And let's be honest, Haaland to Dortmund's probably going to be expensive, probably not going to move yet. And Mbappe, look, they're not going to, PSG aren't going to sell Mbappe for less than 200.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't see Haaland leaving Dortmund anytime soon because, he seems to be enjoying his football there. Yeah, Mbappe, I mean, that's going to be, another, 220 million. So, yeah, I think looking at their squad now, Barcelona are going to have to sell to buy. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very big first season for Ronald Koeman as whether or not, they can, close the gap on Barcelona because obviously they finished 6 points clear of Barcelona. So, yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting first season for Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, funnily enough, I don't know if you know the exact points Barcelona ended on.
Oh gosh.
82. 8-2. That has to be a sign.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be a sign. It has to know. But I think that's pretty much. I mean, I don't know if you've got much more to say, Doug, but I mean, I think that's pretty much majority of what we have to say is the fact that Barcelona have left it too late. They need to get youngsters. They need to take from their own league. They need to all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been an absolute pleasure to do this video with you. And yeah, go and check Fynn out, and obviously come and check me out as well at the Dugout Football channel as well. I think you're on 800 and something subscribers as well, so you're closing in on 900, and I'm closing in on 500 with 442, which is a football formation, funnily enough. So yeah, but no, it's been an absolute pleasure, and yeah, we'll chat again very, very soon.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, if you are watching from my channel, please go check out Doug. I mean, we've done, if you haven't seen, we did a video together like December last year. Last time Doug and I did a video together, I was talking about how I wanted Fernandes at Manchester United, and he was talking about if Liverpool could go unbeaten for the season. It's been that long. But yes, guys, please, if you are watching from my channel, please go check Doug out. I'd really appreciate that. And obviously, if you're not subbed to me, and if you enjoy my face, please do consider subscribing to me as well.
See you later.
But otherwise, yeah. Thank you, Doug, so much. And hopefully, guys, if you do enjoy our collaborations, do like the video down below so that we do know that. But thank you so much for joining me, Doug. Let's hope we've fixed Barcelona.
Let's hope we have. Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Fynn. Take care.
Take care, Doug. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been Fynn and Doug, FYNN. Stay awesome. Cheers. All right. Awesome.